I'm here today to do another Top 10 Tuesday. From this prompt came from Artsy Reader Girl, and the prompt is, what books have been on your TBR the longest? This was actually super easy for me because I have a shelf. Basically, when I got the books, they're on my shelf, and I have one shelf in the corner of my room that has like two shelves that have all books I've had for a really, really long time. Some of these will be surprising, but I do own them, so that takes away some of the embarrassment that I have not read them. The first book is Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. I actually own this complete series. I have a physical first book, and then the two books are on my Kindle. But I heard that this is basically like a Romeo and Juliet retelling about a girl who her boyfriend, I guess, wound up killing her entire family, and that kind of sets it into motion. And the back says, from master storyteller and National Book Award finalist Laini Taylor comes a sweeping, gorgeously written modern fantasy about a forbidden romance, an ancient epic battle, and a hope for a world remade. And then inside is like a thing that says, once upon a time, an angel and devil fell in love. It did not end well. I have heard so many good things about Laini Taylor's writing. I really want to go into her new book, but I heard she is a really, really spectacular writer, and she is a very, very lyrical style-based writing, and I really want to dive into this. I got this so long ago. I actually remember when I bought this, because I bought this with Pushing the Limits. So we got this at least like 3 to 4 years ago, and I just really, really, really want to read it. So hopefully it happens this year. Keep me honest, guys. That has been on my TBR the longest is Rebel Springs by Morgan Rhodes, and this is actually a part of the Fallen Kingdom series, which the last book is actually coming out this year. So I really fell so far behind on this series, and the the spin-off series is still going on, but I still haven't read any of those. So I really hope to read this. What I think I'm gonna do is I'm going to just dive into this and see if I can remember. It's been so long, but I really don't want to reread it. And normally when you have like a series like this, they do recap it. So hopefully I will get to add this to my TBR and read it relatively quickly. But this book has been in my TBR for a while. TBR for a while is Ruby Red by Kirsten Gier. And this is a time travel novel, and it is a trilogy. It's Ruby Red, Sapphire Blue, and Emerald Green. And I did add this to my Pop Sugar Reading Challenge because it has to do with time travel. I've heard a few mixed things about it because this is a translated work, but I really do want to dive into this. These covers are so pretty. So hopefully I like it, and I tend to like time travel novels, so hopefully they will be like this. And I've had this for a few whiles. This is probably some of the sort was in my first book outlet order that I ever purchased, but I did get this one from the Strand. So hopefully I like it, and hopefully I get to read it soon, specifically this year, because it is part of my Pop Sugar Reading Challenge. It was definitely in one of my first book outlets order, and it's called Death Cloud, and it's the Sherlock Holmes legend begins. And this is a story that takes place when Sherlock Holmes was 1986, and when Sherlock Holmes was 14 and he starts solving mysteries. There is a lot of books in this series, and I actually own like 5 of them, but I really, really want to read this. I've been on a Sherlock Holmes kick. I have a lot of Sherlock books home on my shelf, but this is one that I definitely do want to read, and it definitely takes place in the 1800s, so I'm intrigued to see how that they do Sherlock Holmes. From what I remember, this is like, oh yeah, it's the first teen series endorsed by the Sir Arthur Conan Doyle estate, which is really exciting. So I do definitely want to dive into this and hopefully get to read at least book 1 this year. That's my goal. Is Let the Sky Fall by Shannon Messenger, and this was another book I bought a while ago, but it's basically like a paranormal romance. It's about this girl named Audra, and she is an air elemental who winds up saving a boy from a tornado that killed his parents, but she was not supposed to do that. And it basically, she's also a guardian, Van's guardian, and she has sworn to protect an oath to protect him at all costs. So a hasty mistake revealed their location to the enemy who murdered both their families. Audra has days to help Van unlock his memories. And as the storm winds gather, Audra and Van start to realize that the greater danger may not be the warriors coming to destroy them, but the forbidden romance growing between them. And it is the first book in the series, and the second book is Let the Storm Break. I haven't heard a lot about this, but it sounds like something I would like. I like air elementals and fantasy books, so hopefully I like this, and hopefully I'll finally get to read it and then move on to the sequel. Historical fiction book that is on this, but it is Between Shades of Grey by Ruta Sepetys, and this takes place in 1941 Lithuania, and when Lena's life changes forever when she is taken by the Soviet secret police and separated from her family, and they are sent to Siberia. she has to find a way to survive. And it sounds like a very, very harrowing but very, very realistic portrayal of what happened in 1941 with the Soviet secret police. And I'm really excited to dive in. I'm sure it will be very emotional like all of her reads are. Haven't actually ever read anything by her. I do have a couple of books, but this is the one that I had on my TBR the longest. So hopefully I'll get to read it soon. TBR for a while, and that's the Nice Circus by Erin Morgenstern. And this is about two young magicians who are from warring factions, and they wind up falling in love. That's all I know, but I've heard so many good things about this. I know that people really, really love this series, and I know that one of the people I used to follow on Hypable.com has the I think it's the castle got the castle tattooed. And I think that it's just a really interesting way, and I really, really like the concept of it, so hopefully I'll get to read it soon. It is not on my immediate TBR, but this has definitely been on my TBR for the longest. Only ever actually read 2 John Green books, but the one that I've had on my TBR for the longest is Looking for Alaska by John Green. This is another contemporary novel, and I heard that this one is very, very heartbreaking, so maybe that's why I haven't read it, but hopefully I'll get to read it soon. I don't know much about it, and it's always good to kind of go into his novels with not knowing a whole lot of information, but I do know it's about a guy named Miles who goes on an adventure, and the adventure kind of produces unexpected consequences, so hopefully I'll get to read this one soon as well. And I got this right when Borders was going out of business, I think, and it's the Luck series by Anna Gabrielson, and this is a historical fiction novel. I actually have the first 3, so my goal is to read the first book and to see how I feel about it and then see if I want to continue on with the other series. But it's a historical fiction novel about 2 sisters who they rule the Manhattan social scene in 1899. But when the girls discover their family status is far from secure, suddenly everyone is threatened to their golden future. Set in a world of luxury, deception, this thrilling trip to the age of innocence is anything but innocent. It sounds really, really good. So hopefully I'll get to add this to my TBR quickly, and it actually will probably get read relatively fast because it is on my top shelf that I've been taking books off and making that my keep shelf. So hopefully this book will actually get read relatively soon, and hopefully this year, if I follow my plan, which I'm trying to. Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak, and I actually got this a long time ago. I got this when the movie was coming out. And I heard that it is a really, really sad book. Like, I heard it's heartbreaking. I recently watched Bree by Zoe, and she read this during a book, like one of her bookathons, and it was heartbreaking. It is it's like over 500 pages. So I really would like to read this. I know it's going to be definitely an emotional read. So I might read this when I'm trapped inside one day on a snowy day, but I heard that it's really, really good. So this is the last book that's been on my TBR the longest. As always, comment below and let me know what books you think I should read first or should jock up to my first part of my TBR. But I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll talk to you guys later.